today for a Belizean breakfast. We are actually standing here in Panama City, Panama, missing the beautiful country of Belize, and we thought that we would bring Belize to us, bring it into our kitchen, and then bring it to you as well. So, I'm Ally Rodriguez. I am the Sales Marketing Director for Eco Villages, and I hope that you already know a little bit about who we are, but if you don't, I invite you to take a look at our Facebook page, check out our Instagram page, definitely head on over to YouTube and watch some of our videos there as well. With me, I also have Andrea.
Hi everybody, thank you Ellie for the introduction. I'm Andrea Martinez, as Ellie said. I am property expert for Eco Villages, and we are very happy to show you the different typical things, you know, the cooking, the dishes that we have in each of these countries that we love so much. So we can go to the kitchen and start showing the Belizean breakfast.
Yeah, so just a little bit of background for you guys there tuning in, whether you're watching this live or whether you'll see this later on. I myself moved from Texas to Belize about, I guess it's been a little over 5 years now. Started my journey down in this part of the world in Belize and spent about 4.5 years on the island of Andrea, and just fell in love with the people, but also obviously with the food. So that's a little bit about my background on Belize. The breakfast we're bringing you today is the traditional Belizean breakfast that typically consists of what, Andrea? What is a Belizean breakfast?
Well, you can see, we have eggs. It can be scrambled or fried. Yeah, bacon, fresh fruit, because you know it's a tropical country, so fruit is very important. And something refried beans. It's another very typical ingredient that we have here in Central America, especially Belize. They love it very much. And the fried jacks, which are going to be the stars.
That's the first time
we're going to make it, so we're going to see how it goes.
Crossing our fingers it goes well. But yeah, like Andrea said, you know, in this part of the world, breakfast looks a little bit different typically. Why don't we go ahead and get the oil started for the fried jacks. But in this part of the world, your breakfast looks a little bit different than maybe it does if you're from North America, like Canada or the States or even Europe. A lot of times your breakfast is served with some kind of protein, one or two. If you are or have been to Belize before, you'll probably notice that they sell things like meat pies for breakfast or Johnny cakes that have shredded chicken in them. So that's very common for the folks in Belize to have as a breakfast staple. So we're going to get the oil started. Talk to us a little bit about the oil for the fried jacks. You want to make sure that it's nice and hot. So
yeah, we started it first because it has to be very hot, so the fried jacks get like bloated when they get in. So it is important, and the oil that you use is better than it is vegetable oil or soy oil.
Soybean oil.
And not olive oil because it takes longer to get heated, and then it can get burned.
Burned and smoky. Yeah, absolutely. So why don't you come on over here. Behind the scenes, guys, you don't see him, but behind the scenes we have our finance director, Juan, holding our camera here today. So he's our resident chef, but we're gonna go ahead and start on the refried beans. And there's a couple of different ways you can do your beans. If you are somebody who is really great at planning ahead, you can do the traditional make your own beans from raw dry beans and do the whole overnight process. I'm not very good at that, self-admittedly, so we have some prepared refried beans here, but I like to doctor mine up. I'm gonna put a little punch in my refried beans. So what we're gonna do is in this pot here, we're gonna put some onion, just white onion. I used about half of a medium-sized white onion. We're gonna put that in the pot. We're gonna let it get nice and happy, get it nice and caramelized. And Andrea, you're gonna have to help me with this one.
This is my kitchen, so
yeah, this is Andrea's real kitchen. This is where she cooks all the magic. So we're gonna put in here just that diced onion, and you wanna make it pretty
enough like that, or
perfect. Yep. Yeah, you want to be on pretty high heat to start with. Once the onions start getting translucent or transparent, you want to turn it down a little bit just so you don't burn them. But we're gonna let that get nice and happy. Another thing that I'm going to put is garlic, and I do prepare garlic in mass. because I like it.
That's a good idea.
I use a lot of garlic, so you'll see that I'm just gonna put in as much as I feel is going to be good for me. Everybody has their own different taste levels, right? So get in here, cameraman. Let's look at that.
How beautiful this is.
So we're gonna let that start cooking down, kind of release all the juices from the onions and
no
the garlic.
oil or anything, just like that?
Yeah, we're gonna let it do its thing for just a bit, and then we'll throw in some oil here in just a second. But in the meantime, Andrea is gonna walk you through the process of making the fried jacks, which I'm going to warn everybody right now. The first time you have a fried jack will be life-changing and could become addicting if you're not careful. So, Andrea, go ahead and talk to us about making the fried jack dough and how we do that.
So the fried jacks are very simple. We use flour, baking soda, we have La Doña here, butter, milk, and salt. You can also put some sugar if you want, depends on how you want it to taste. So first we're gonna put all the dry parts, right? These 2 cups of flour. Then the baking soda, it has to be 2 spoons of baking soda. Teaspoons of baking soda. So I use the spoons. Like that.
I just love the fact that, again, you know, some of you probably have some really nice measuring spoons and measuring cups and things like that. Sometimes down here in this part of the world, we don't use those kinds of things, so.
And you can see I'm not a baker. So. And then you put as much salt as you want. But usually it says that you can put half a teaspoon of salt, but I just put whatever. And then you have to join everything together, you know, the dries, the dry parts of the fried jacks, right? And then you put the 2 tablespoons of butter and the milk. And you start here how it looks.
And how much milk are you using?
Three-fourths. What do you say? Three-fourths?
Three-quarters, yeah.
3/4 of milk. So you see how it looks. You have to knead it for at least like 10 minutes. I'm showing how to do it here, but we already this morning did another dough that has to look like this. We did it before because you have to, after kneading it, you have to let it rest for at least 10 to 15 minutes. So we wanted to have it ready for you. You see how it's going? Don't knead it too much because then it can get too hard. If you think that you need more milk or more flour because it is too wet, you can do that as well. You feel how the dough is. This one turned out good too.
Is it sticky? I mean, you don't want it to be too sticky.
Yeah.
But you also don't want it to be too dry. So you'll have to find that sweet spot in your dough. And after doing it a couple times, you'll really understand how much milk and how much of all the other things that you need to do and how long you need to knead it. So
something like this, right? I think you might need a little bit more flour because it's a little soft, but then you make a ball out of your dough and let it rest for 10 to 15 minutes. So after the 10 to 15 minutes, it will look like this. Let me wash my hands.
I'll get in here and get these onions and garlic. So this is about, you can see they're really starting to caramelize and brown and roast. So now what we're going to do is add in the prepared beans. Now a lot of people that I talk to say that they prefer, I'm going to turn that heat down a little bit, they actually prefer to put the onions and the garlic and the beans into like a processor, or even take, lost the word, a masher, a mashed potato masher to the beans to really integrate all the flavors. But I actually really prefer my refried beans, these beans specifically, to be a little bit, have more texture in them. So I like my beans to have a little bit of texture. I like the garlic and onions to still be nice and chunky. So really you can modify it to what is your best or your favorite way to eat them. So those are now finished. We're done. And we can put a lid on them. And we're gonna let them sit and chill out until we are finished and ready to eat our breakfast.
So now here in the fried jacks, we put some flour. When your dough is ready, you put some flour on the counter. And you have to roll it like this because you have to cut it. You can cut it like in 6-7 pieces. This is the first time I'm doing this, so be nice.
Yeah, and traditionally, you know, when you're making these fried jacks, you can pick what shape you want them to be. What you'll see usually in the restaurants there in Belize are half moon shaped fried jacks. So think of a circle, roll it out like you would like a tortilla, and then cut that tortilla in half, and essentially that's a good shape. If you are familiar with what sopapillas are, the little triangle shaped puffed tortillas that are fried typically in Mexico, and of course in most Mexican restaurants, you can also cut them like that. So it really just depends on what look you're going for and how big you want the fried jack to be.
Yeah, so you can divide it. And see here. One. Okay, that's okay, Ally?
Yeah, absolutely. We're measuring with our eyes.
This is 3 pieces and then 3 more pieces over here. There.
So we talked a little bit about what our I guess pieces of this breakfast are, and just so you guys know, fried jacks are again, it's kind of the star of the show. You can also do tortillas or what they call Johnny cakes. Johnny cakes is a little bit denser of a type bread that's in Belize. They make breakfast sandwiches out of them and things like that. But there's also other components that you can add. There is a spinach, a Mayan spinach in Belize called chaya that, and I'm probably not saying that right, so I'm sorry, but you can also add that as part of your breakfast to make it more of a Mayan, like savory type of breakfast. Whereas what we're doing today is we're blending savory with our eggs and our beans, and we do have some bacon that we're gonna add, but then we're blending that with our sweet, which is going to be our tropical fruits, papaya and watermelon, bananas, which are abundant in this part of the world, along with our fried jack. So go ahead, Andrea, you're ready for us to roll these out and cut them up?
So we made the small balls of each piece, of each part of the fried jack, and then we have to roll it. And as Ali was saying, you can have any form that you want. See? We were also thinking about making the meat pies.
No,
But it takes longer. That is, yeah, it has a nice dough too, and in Belize they love to eat meat pies with, you know, inside you can have chicken inside. It has onion, peppers,
ground beef.
Yeah, it's really good, and they sell them in the streets, those meat pies, so people love that. That's another type of breakfast in Belize.
Yeah, the street vendors are definitely the coolest people to buy the meat pies from. Obviously going into a restaurant, and I'll just throw out some of my favorites here. Estelle's for breakfast, for a Belizean breakfast is amazing. There is a meat pie vendor called Dario's Meat Pies that sells some amazing meat pies on Ambergris Key on the street. So it's really cool. They actually come to you, they stop by all the business offices and just walk down the street offering their meat pies and breakfast to people hanging out, or
They have bicycles, carts, right?
bicycles with carts. While she's doing that, I'm gonna go ahead and get our eggs ready for our scrambled eggs. So I just have 2 eggs here. I don't know what you're gonna eat, Juan, but we're gonna we're gonna crack 2 eggs here in this bowl.
But look here, after I flatten the dough, then you have this circle, and then you have to cut it in half, right? That's how I slowly made it.
Perfect. And some people,
And-
if you go ahead.
And then I think you have to make also cut it here. Give a small cut in this side. And then they are ready to put on the frying pan.
Perfect. So we're gonna set those off to the side real quick and get our eggs going. I really like a moist scrambled egg, so I'm gonna add a little bit of milk to my bowl here. And then also we have some butter over here that we're gonna put into the pan that Andrea is finished with on her fry jacks. So just quickly here, I had a, you're so good, Juan, just in and out, back and forth here.
I'm just enjoying doing this fry jack. It's not as hard. I was really stressed out about doing this.
No, it's not hard. And if those of you that are watching or see this later, I challenge you to try it on your own. Do it at home. Of course, we would love to know that you actually went to Belize at some point and tried the fry jacks there. Because obviously nobody makes it better than a Belizean, but you will definitely come back home feeling like you wished you could bring a little bit of Belize home with you, and this is an easy way to do that when you're missing such a beautiful and friendly country. So, Andrea, one more time, can you light the burner in the middle? I'm kind of spoiled. I might have a self-lighting stove in my apartment, so
There you go.
I need to learn how to do that. But we're gonna let the butter get really nice and soft. You don't need a lot. Obviously, you just need a little bit to make the bottom of the pan nice and friendly for your scrambled eggs. And our oil is pretty much ready, so I'm gonna turn it down just a little bit. Turn it down just a little bit there so we don't get it overheated here. Just pour those scrambled eggs into the pan. Again, you could do, if you want to do an over easy egg, fried eggs, however, whatever way you prefer to make your eggs, you're welcome to do that. I am looking for, okay, have some black pepper here. Andrea has the salt. Andrea, you want to throw a little salt in this for me?
Yes.
There we go.
Just let me know how much.
Perfect. Salt and pepper to taste.
Have you tried the Johnny's bread?
Johnny's bread?
Yeah,
I haven't.
That's really good too. It's Belizean. They do it with like a normal bread, but they do it with coconut milk.
Ah. Yeah, you'll find a lot of coconut in a lot of the dishes in Belize. It's just something that is, translated over into most Caribbean dishes. It adds a very milky flavor. You'll see a lot of curries that are made with coconut milk and things like that there in Belize.
The coconut curry is my favorite.
Yeah.
So good.
All right, when you're ready, Andrea, let's
Yep,
go. Go.
Wish me luck, people.
You got it. Oh, beautiful. So some people choose to put the slit in the middle like Andrea did. It just keeps it.
Should I put like in
I would just,
or just
yeah, I would just do two. We don't want to overcrowd the pan.
Okay.
So these are staying a little bit flat because of that. I know, they look amazing.
Oh my God, I'm
Wanna
so
flip 'em.
excited. What do I have to do?
Flip them.
Flip them.
Yeah,
Okay.
you have
I'm so excited. Okay.
Like that?
Okay.
Yep.
Oh man, they can get burned pretty fast.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay.
That's okay. We're gonna do some more though. So now that we know how quickly
Should I
they.
take them out? Okay. Juan is the expert really in the kitchen. So he's the one who's directing us.
The good news is that even though they look a little dark, once you dip them in a little honey or put a little sugar on top, they will be amazing. And our eggs are done. Yeah, be ready to flip those pretty quick. There we go.
Oh, no.
So the slit in the middle actually keeps them from puffing up completely. Otherwise, if you don't put that slit in the middle, it'll make like a big puffy pocket.
Oh, so I shouldn't put the slit in the middle. I saw that you had to put that. So the next one we can.
You can, but you don't have to. Some people actually choose to do the puffier version, and then they open it and put their breakfast ingredients inside it. So kind of a nod to like a breakfast burrito.
Beautiful.
That looks amazing. Look at you.
Oh. I hope somebody that is Belizean is watching. And they're proud.
I think they would give you a high five.
Can we do another one or that's enough?
I think that's okay.
Okay.
Unless you just want extras. But I think we're ready to plate.
Yeah, let's
show these folks at home how beautiful this plate ends up turning out.
Yeah, let's go there because there is cleaner.
All right, so here we go. We have a beautiful plate here. We are gonna do our eggs. Some nice fluffy scrambled eggs.
Nice. Usually some people, the eggs turn out to be very dry, but yours look very fluffy. I like that.
Yeah, I like eggs to be nice and moist,
Yeah,
and that's
me
the milk really helps with that. So here you've got your refried beans.
I'm so proud of them. Here is the fruit.
A little bit
Do you like a
bacon.
banana? Too? You can have a banana.
Oh my gosh, I'm starving. So something I want to quickly note here also is you cannot have Belizean breakfast or any really other meal in Belize without Marie Sharps. And this is not a plug for them. This is not a promotion by any way. But since moving to Panama,
It's our sponsor.
yeah, right, but amazing. They have, I don't know how many flavors now of Marie Sharp's sauce. But what's really neat about this is it is a carrot and onion based hot sauce. This one is the hot flavor, but they have anywhere from mild, they have green sauces like a salsa verde almost, all the way up to what they call comatose. So just be aware that there's some different heat levels that are involved there. They also have some sweeter versions, like I believe they have a guayaba habanero sauce. They have a garlic habanero version. So you definitely want to check that out when you're in Belize. If you are craving it when you get back home, it is available. You can buy it on Amazon and have it shipped to you at home. But so make sure if you love spicy, if you love habanero, it's delicious, delicious. So thank you to our friends back in Belize that have brought us some as they come to visit us here in Panama. All right, we're ready for, you want to throw some fruit?
Okay.
You want to?
I'm gonna play
Here.
the chefs here.
Yeah, well, it's fine. We're gonna do this.
So I don't know. I'm not a chef, but
Yes, you are. You just made fried jacks from scratch.
Well, I think that the Belizeans should say, "Here I am first." Let's see.
Okay, we definitely don't do it as good as the Belizeans do. That's for sure. So
And then the fried jacks. What should I put over here?
perfect. Yep, that's right. Beautiful. A lot of people choose to do sweet with their fried jacks. So we do have honey. That's traditionally served with your Belizean breakfast. You can also request things like local jams, homemade jams or jellies, but a lot of people choose to do honey or just straight up eat them just as they are. So, all right, I'm gonna let you do the honors, Andrea.
So here you go. This is a traditional Belizean breakfast. It's very easy. Scrambled eggs, refried beans, bacon, fresh fruit, and fried jacks.
Yay! Well, now you have to eat it.
We all have to eat it. Want to.
Come on, Fawn.
We're all hungry. We haven't had
Okay, so I'm
any
gonna break this open so you can see. So it's very light in the middle, almost like a tortilla, right? But just a little bit different. But
It's good?
I don't know, I haven't eaten it yet, it's hot.
But it looks like it's cooked, right?
It is,
Cooked all the way.
It's definitely cooked.
Oh.
All right, I'm just gonna
Okay.
throw some honey on top of mine. Oh, you're gonna do it that way.
I love refried beans.
Nice. So I'm just gonna put a little honey on mine.
I love the taste with the onion and the garlic.
I just got transported back to Belize. That's amazing. Good job, Chef Andrea.
Good job, Ally. Thank you. So,
Last but not least, you guys, thanks for joining us. If you're hitting this video late and you didn't get to see the whole thing, give us about a day or two. It'll be up on our YouTube channel. Just go find us at ecovillages.life on YouTube. But also, if you go into our About section, our website, there's a Linktree link in our Facebook page. In that Linktree, you will find a couple of different places you can go to learn more about Eco Villages. But our next event, our next live event will actually be next week. We're going to be doing a live AMA. What that means is Ask Me Anything Belize edition. So Andrea, myself, Juan there behind the camera, and Patrick will be on live with you enjoying a rum punch. So grab your favorite beverage for an Ask Me Anything cocktail hour all about Belize. You'll find that link to register and how to join that meeting in the Linktree link in our About section on Facebook. So,
we're going to continue eating because I'm so hungry.
yes, absolutely. So thanks for joining us, guys, and we will see you all soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.